Good morning, and thanks for joining our new features webinar today for our managed users and introducing our mobile support for the managed user screen. As most of you know, we released our managed users, or our new managed users section of our of the trainee side, or excuse me, the trainer side, about a month ago. And since that time, we've been working on optimizing it for use on mobile devices. So today we're going to run through what that looks like. I've got Laura Rhoads is with me. She's one of our product managers and has been the prime person behind the managed users overhaul and also has been working diligently on mobile support. So she will lead us through that in a few minutes here. What I'll do as we get started here is just kind of run through some of the recent releases that we've done, just some of the features that have gone through in case anyone has missed that. We will go through the actual overhaul that we've done or the changes that we've made to support mobile on the managed user side. And then we'll stick around and answer any questions that people have at the end. So as usual, if you do have any questions during the webinar, if you just want to enter them on the right-hand side there's a little section in your GoToWebinar panel that says questions. You can enter them there, and Laura and I will stick around at the end and make sure that everyone's questions get answered. Whether it's about the mobile support of our managed users or any other aspect of Mindflash, we're happy to address that. So please feel free to enter your questions at any time. A couple of things that I wanted to mention. First of all, we have a brand new series of webinars that's going to be launching in December. They address some of our frequently asked questions that we get. The customer success team is actually, which is the group that I'm part of. We are going to be addressing some of the frequently asked questions that we get from customers and trialists. We will be doing that once a month. We'll just have short presentations on various aspects that we get questions about. We have one that is content focused, which will help you to enhance your content. So I know that's a big subject with a lot of people. And then we have our standard demo of the Mindflash product for anyone that's new. Maybe if you have new members of your team, they want to join that. And we have one focused for managers so that managers can learn sort of the ins and outs of and what they can do on the system. So if you're interested in signing up for any of those, we have a page in our Help Center. If you go to help.mindflash.com, you will see an article entered in there for our webinar schedule, and you can sign up on using any of the links in that article. So again, that's help.mindflash.com, and it'll show you the list of webinars coming up for, at this point, the month of December, but this will be a continuing series. So we'll be updating that each month to have all of our new webinars in it. Okay, so recent enhancements. I'll go through these relatively quickly, but as always, we document all of this again in our Help Center. So if you go to help.mindflash.com and search for new features or enhancements, you'll find the article in there that has a list of all of our feature releases, and that's a great place to visit to see what we've been up to. So most recently, we overhauled our managed users page. There's some significant improvements that we've added to this. For example, you can now do what we refer to as bulk actions. So you can do things like inviting multiple people at the same time to one or many courses. That's a new function that's in there. We also have an enhanced advanced search function that allows you to pare that list down to a specific list of people, and then again you can perform a bulk action like resetting or inviting to a course or series. And we have also just recently, or will be adding a groups column that will list all of the groups that a trainee is a member of. So that was the first thing that was requested as soon as we released the new managed user screen, so we've been able to bring that and add that as an enhancement to the system. Next on the list here, you can see integration with Salesforce. This has, again, been a long-term project that we've been on for the last several months and was released about a month ago. We have a bunch of folks that are using it and have gotten very positive reviews on that. So if you are a Salesforce user and have any interest in tying your training results to business results or reporting within that may live in Salesforce, that is definitely something you can check out. And if you want to reach out to either your customer success manager or send an email to help@mindflash.com, we'd be happy to set up a demo of that and walk you through, the value that it can provide for you. You can invite people from Salesforce to courses, you can see their training records in Salesforce, and you can also access all of the records in the reporting. So you could, for example, tie up the sales results from your sales team to those that have done training, or even your customers that have done training. Do they buy more, or do they submit fewer support tickets? All that sort of stuff is possible with that integration. So we're really excited about that, and as I said, it's gotten very positive initial feedback, so let us know if you're interested in taking a look at that. You can see there on the screen that we've got an extended list of updates. I mentioned that in our Help Center. We will send out this presentation after the fact, but if you are ever interested in seeing our previous webinars, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Mindflash Training, or you can go to our Help Center and read a long list of everything that we've released over the last few years. Okay, with that, I will turn it over to Laura here, who's going to give us a demo of what we've been up to with the managed users and supporting mobile.
Great, thanks, Jason. So I'm very excited to be sharing our new optimized managed user screen for mobile with everyone today. We know how important it is to be able to keep your training program running regardless of where you're located, and we also know that a vast majority of our trainer base has their smartphones next to them at most hours of the day. We've been really thrilled by all the positive feedback and excitement around the new managed users page, and so then we knew that the next step would be to make the new interface easily usable on mobile devices. A large number of our customers travel a lot for work, and maybe some of you listening today can relate. Trainers are often in the field. They're training people on hands-on exercises, checking out different branches, or they're just driving from one training engagement to another. And we recognize that our customers' smartphones are often their link to work out when they're off-site. And so it's for this reason we did this project and optimized this page for mobile devices. So no matter where our trainers are, they can keep their programs running smoothly. Before we dive into the actual interface, I'm going to go show some quotes. We did some user testing, and we've shown this to a few early user testers, and so this is what they're saying about the new mobile interface. And so we can take a quick moment just to read through those, and you'll just notice there's a lot of excitement around these enhancements, and so far people are really happy about the execution. We heard from a bunch of people like, oh, this is what I've wanted, or I've tried to log in and do this in the past. I'm so glad to hear this. So, so we're excited to share it with you and excited to get it out there in the open. All right, so then let's take a dive into the new mobile interface and talk about the ways it's going to make managing your program from your smartphone much easier. As I was saying previously, if you tried to log into your account from your smartphone, you were met with a shrunken down version of our current desktop application, and technically you could navigate to a few different pages in the application, and if you zoomed in, you might have been able to complete some tasks. However, trying to navigate that interface was very frustrating and not at all an efficient use of anyone's time. And ever since we started building the new Manage Users page, we knew we wanted to make it mobile friendly. And then once we started hearing how much people were enjoying the changes, we bumped up the priority of optimizing this view so that trainers could start reaping the benefits of the redesign from their phones as soon as possible. The main tasks we've heard that trainers are wanting to do from their phone is invite, reset, remind, and extend deadlines. They're often getting emails or notifications that their trainees needed to take new trainings or that they needed help moving forward in their current training. We've heard multiple stories of trainers who needed to reset or remind trainees, but then they had to wait several hours or even a few days if it was the weekend until they were back in the office to complete those management tasks. And meanwhile, the trainees had either moved on or they had lost interest or motivation in finishing their training, and then they've wasted precious time waiting for a response from a trainer. Thankfully, this no longer has to be the case because all of these tasks can be easily completed from a phone or a tablet. So I'm going to show the interface. I'm actually going to demo it from my phone, so give me a moment to open up that software, and it'll pop up on the screen. And so what you're seeing is actually me on my iPhone completing these tasks. Okay, there we go. So now when you log into your account from your mobile device, you'll automatically land on the Manage Users page, and it's going to look like this. You'll see the trainees' names and emails, and you can use the search at the top to find specific people. You can scroll through it. You can use the advanced search. I'm going to look for a specific person, and I could search by name, or I'm going to show you the advanced filters. I know that this person, Bob Brown, is in the sales group, so I'm going to search by the sales group, and I'm going to commit that. So I've narrowed down my list, and now it's easy to find Bob Brown. I'm going to click on Bob. And when I click on his name, I get taken to the Overview tab. I'm actually going to invite Bob to a few courses before we move on. And you can note that you can invite to courses or series from here. I'm going to go with courses. I could even make it a required course or not. And I'm going to go with admin for new hire and building your team. And the other courses he's actually already invited to, and that's why they are gray, excuse me. And you'll have noticed that there was a confirmation so that I know that it actually went through and he was invited. Okay, so before we dive into those trainings I just invited him to, let's take a look at this Overview tab. From the Overview tab, you can quickly, at a glance, scroll through and kind of get an idea of where Bob Brown is in his training and just how he's set up in the groups and his permissions. If I wanted to, I could dive right into his information tab. I'm going to do that. And from here I can see all of his information: first name, last name, email, his role, his different custom fields. Maybe I would want to, I heard, oh, there's a typo in Bob's email. I would come here and I could easily edit his email address, fix that typo so that I know he's getting emails. If I had made a change, I'd save it, but I haven't actually changed it, so I'm just going to click cancel. And then I can navigate to the next tab, which is the Groups tab. And I can see which groups Bob's in. I could add him to some more groups. I could remove him from groups if he was in the wrong group. This page is very much like the desktop view and has the same abilities as the desktop view. All right, and now I'm going to jump forward to the Courses tab, which is probably one of the tabs where you'll spend most of your time, either here or if you're using Series, on the Series tab. On this tab, I have the ability to, I could either go through the list and look at his courses one by one, or if I knew exactly what I wanted to do, I could filter, but I'm going to look for all the courses in an invited state, and going to decide, okay, I actually want to remind him for the courses, for this new course, this admin for new hire, and he's got a reminder email for that. And again, you saw that there's a confirmation message letting you know, yes, we did remind him, and that email is getting sent. Another task that we heard a lot is that people are in this deadline statuses and they want to continue doing the training, but they can't. So I'm going to change the filter to a missed deadline, and okay, Bob has one course that's in a missed deadline status. Now I could click set from here and I'd get a calendar and I could move his deadline to the future. Could also dive down into the course and do the same thing. So here I'm going to do that, and we'll give him till the day after Thanksgiving. We'll say that it's done. All right, great. So as you can see, you have all the options here. You can set the deadline. Like I said, there's that Get Certificate button. If he had passed this, then that would be available. You can reset, remind, or even drop him. You also have additional information like when he was invited, if he had completed, you'd have the date. If he had actually done some work in it, you'd have a duration time. So all of that data is in the drill down view, which is super helpful if you're just trying to get a handle on what's going on with Bob's training. All right, going back to the courses, we're going to jump over to the series tab. And again, same basic information. You have all the abilities that you might need to do for these series, just like you did for the courses. You have the ability to get all of this data. You know, if you even need to get a certificate, there's that icon right here to get a certificate. Maybe you need to verify training, or you need to tell somebody, oh yeah, I see that he actually has a certificate, it's legitimate. And that opens up in a new window, and you could actually even send that to somebody if you needed to. Again, all from your phone. So we're going to go back. And we're on the series tab again. And Bob has passed both of these series, which is great. However, I got an email that said, yeah, Bob passed the welcome bundle, but he actually failed one of the courses in that series. And for our program, that's not going to work. So we're going to need to reset him in that. So we have the ability to reset the entire series, but we won't do that to Bob because he passed most of the courses, but he didn't pass this basic HR information course, so I'm going to reset him. And he's back to an invited state. So again, was able to just do that on the go, and I'm done with that task and I can move on. And I do have the ability now, he's in a in progress state in this welcome bundle, so if I wasn't satisfied, I could remind Bob again, send him another email, you know, make sure that he's going to complete this. But no matter what state the trainee is in courses or series, you can easily make sure that they have what they need to continue their training, and you have what you need. You have the tools available to you to make that happen. So that's probably where you spend the most time, just because that's where you manage the particular trainees and on all their training, and you can see all their training. However, there is one last tab here that we'll go over, and that's the permissions tab. And this is where you see what permissions your trainers, managers, team leads, or reporters have. And I believe, yeah, Bob is the manager, says right there. And you have the ability to edit his permissions. So if you're hearing that Bob has control over a group he shouldn't have, or you realize he needs control over some more groups, you can come in here and make that adjustment really easily. Again, just like the desktop view, same abilities. There's nothing lacking in that department. All right, we're going to cancel out of that because Bob doesn't really need to get his permissions changed. I'm going to go back to the overview tab. And actually, I'm going to close out of here and go back all the way to the main grid. Okay, so that's the basic overview of this optimized view. We've made it easy to take actions on your trainees from a mobile device, ensuring that your training can continue to run smoothly no matter where you are. We know that training is a multifaceted job, and that you really want your trainees to succeed, and we really want you to succeed. So we hope that this optimized view will help you ensure that you're able to do your job regardless of where you are and what time it is, and all of that. We're excited to get this into your hands and have you start reaping the benefits of this optimized view. And so that's going to lead me to my next slide, which goes over some questions you might have, and then if you have any other questions, feel free to start typing them into the questions box, and then we can kind of walk through those as well. For the moment, I will move this off the screen, as we might need it to answer some questions. Okay, so questions you might have: when will you see this change in your account? When will you be able to log in from your phone? And by the end of next week, this should be available. So when you log into your phone, from your phone, you'll be able to get this optimized view and start managing your trainees via your smartphone or your tablet. Is this an app? No, this is not an app. So this isn't something you go to the App Store for. This, you just go to a browser, type in the address of your portal or your account, log in, and you will see this view. Will everyone have access to this page? Yeah. If everyone who has more of an administrator access, right? So administrators, trainers, managers, team leads, or reporters, when they log in, they'll see this optimized view. If they also have, their permissions will also be the same. So, you know, if they can only see 5 people when they log in on the desktop, they'll only see 5 people when they log in from their phone. So nothing like that changes, no data changes. And will this affect my trainees? No, this only impacts the administrative side of your account, so trainees will see no difference. Just like when the Manage Users page rolled out, trainees didn't know anything about that. This is the same thing, so this only affects the trainer/administrator side of things. And that's it, and that's the overview. So let's just move on to questions, and if there's anything else I need to show, we can do that as well.
Great. Thanks, Laura. So we just have a handful of questions here. So if you have been saving up your question, now would be the time to enter it so that we can address it before we take off. A couple of things that I just wanted to cover real quick. First of all, this change is for the Manage Users tab. It will not allow you to go in and edit your course settings or your series settings. This is really the first step in an extended project to support mobile on the trainer side or the admin side. So we are in production on those other aspects of the system, and you'll see those in coming releases over several months. But this is specifically for the Manage Users tab or screen. The good thing about that is it will allow you to sort of manage the day-to-day of your courses and your trainees. So enrolling, resetting, all that stuff that we saw. So we think there's a lot of good value here, but this does not mean complete support for mobile on the trainer side. But we are well aware of the value of mobile and are moving in that direction for sure. The other thing I wanted to mention, Laura touched on it there at the end, but this is support for the browser. It's not a specific app. The benefit for that being that you can just log in from any mobile device. We all have many mobile devices, so whether it's your iPad or your phone or you're on Android, it doesn't matter. It will work for both Android and iOS, so that's exciting. And then lastly, I just want to mention that we do already support mobile on the trainee side. So we are committed to mobile. Any course you create on Mindflash will work in a mobile browser for Android or iOS. So you will not get your trainees into a situation where you've created a course that has PowerPoint, and for some reason PowerPoint doesn't work on that mobile device. We know that everything that's created on Mindflash needs to work in mobile, and that's why we support the content types we do. Okay. With that, I am going to hop into the questions here. First question is, where can you sign up for the webinars? If you go to help.mindflash.com, that's our help center. There is a page that we've created in there that has a list of all our webinars. In fact, it's starred, and you will see it in the top left section of that first screen that you go to. So again, help.mindflash.com, and you can just pull up that article, and it has links to sign up for any webinars that we have upcoming and scheduled. So we'll also list our new features webinars there in the future. We will continue to notify people via email as we do now, but just so you know, you can always go there and see what we've got coming up. Is this available for all levels of Mindflash subscriptions? Laura, you want to take that?
Yeah, definitely. So yes, it is. This is not something that's based on your plan or your tier. Everybody got the new Manage Users page, and everyone's going to get this optimized view. So it doesn't matter what tier, everyone gets it.
We've got some multiple entries of significant praise over this, so good job, Laura, as usual, and the rest of the team for that matter. Let's see, next question. Where can you sign up for webinars? As mentioned earlier. Okay, I touched on that, so I will not go back to that one. Is there an app for Android phones? So I mentioned this, that this works it works in the browser on both Android and iOS. We do not have a specific app for Android. For iOS, for iPad specifically, we have an app for trainees. So if someone wants to take or wants to install the app to take courses on Mindflash as a trainee, we do offer that for an iPad. But for all other aspects of the system and for support on other devices, we actually use the browser itself. So they would just navigate to whatever your portal name is and log in there, and they would have the mobile experience. So we've done that to be able to support a lot of different devices, and it's actually working quite well for us. Will our employees be able to complete courses on their mobile devices? Yes, they're able to complete courses on their mobile devices now. And that's something we've actually supported for probably over a year, I would guess, Laura. Year and a half maybe. But they can just go to the browser or even click on a link in their email when they're on their mobile device. It would open their browser and then they would just take the course. And as I mentioned before, all courses on Mindflash are supported on mobile, so you don't have to do anything to your courses in order to make them work on mobile. So you should be good to go as they are right now. Next question, do you need to have HTML5 on your phone to view the new manage user screen? No, you don't have to do anything special on your phone in order to access that. All you have to do is go to the actual screen and you'll be able to navigate to it in the application and use it just as you saw with Laura. So no special steps or process that you have to go through to make this work. When we release this change next week, it will be pushed to everyone as we do with all of our future releases. It'll just start working and you'll be able to navigate to it. So should not be a big deal. My anticipation is that we will put a note in the product letting everyone know that we released and that it's available. So at that point, you'll see the little pop-up notifying that there's a new release and that we now support that for the managed user. So at that point, you can go there and it won't. It'll just start working. Okay. I don't see any more questions here. Relatively few questions for the first time in a long time, but I'm assuming that's because Laura's presentation was so fantastic, as usual. So without further ado, I think we'll call an end to this webinar. If you do have any questions, feel free to email help@mindflash.com or contact your customer success manager, and we can help you out with anything mobile or for any other matter. So thanks for joining, and we will talk to you soon.